teaching has to become programmatic in the sense that students have to be given control so that they can exercise power. They can really choose their learning path. They can choose the formats in which the instructional material will appear. So, we have in our educational system and even in the private training sector, we have a one size fits all approach to teaching and training. In other words, we create a curriculum, and then we impose that curriculum or training program on everyone that registers. And I think that's the wrong approach. I think that a better approach would be to use programmatic instructional design, and programmatic instructional design, or PID, basically says that you should create an environment where students and learners can choose their own path, right? So they have a lot of variety, a lot of flexibility, a lot of options, and they can choose the path, the learning path that is most suitable for them, given their situation, their priorities, their constraints, their skill and knowledge level, etc. So when you create this kind of programmatic learning environment, then you give freedom, you give control, you give power to learners. And as we've seen with so many business models like Uber, where you can hail a taxi at any time, or Uber Eats, or Airbnb, where you can travel all over the world, or eBay, where you can sell stuff that you don't need, or even new products, or Amazon, or Facebook, or LinkedIn. We see that the companies that succeed are the companies that give freedom, flexibility, options, variety, and power and convenience to their customers. So it's the same thing with teaching. I think that the massive open online course, or MOOCs, that are out there is a great step forward. Like universities should upload their video courses so that the world can access them, because the marginal cost is zero. But that's not enough, because even if you offer a course online, you're still stuck in the mindset of one size fits all. You're still stuck in trying to impose a linear learning path to all learners, when we know that each learner is so different. So the idea behind programmatic instructional design, or PID, is that you've got to give maximum options to your students, and also help them to choose or design the learning path that is most suitable for them. And to the extent that you're able to do that, then you're going to tremendously empower them, and you're going to be rewarded. Of course, people might say, well, Peter, don't we have that environment already? It's called YouTube, it's called the internet. People can just go online and they can just design their own path. Yes, but not all the material on YouTube or Google is of quality, right? So, yes, people can design their own path, but you know, you need a high quality environment. So that's what we're trying to do at the Open Digital University. We want to create an environment where there are so many learning resources, so many training programs, so many video courses, that students can choose the best path for themselves. And that, I think, is the way of the future, because when you focus a business model or an educational model on empowering students and customers, it's very difficult for you to go wrong, because that's the very direction and the very momentum of history. Humankind has evolved to always give more and more power and freedom and control to individuals. So it's not that different in the educational sphere, where as teachers and trainers, we really have to shift more power and control and freedom to learners and students and clients, because if we don't do that, then we're going to lose them. And luckily, there are software programs, I'm going to talk more about them in the future, that will help you to turn your courses into a programmatic learning environment, where your students can really have fun learning and testing and experimenting. And experimentation is very important, because people learn best from making decisions, making choices, and then seeing and experiencing the consequences of those choices. That's how people learn best. It's called learning by experience. But of course, they need a minimum amount of theory, but after that, it should be fun. It should be like playing games, like video games, and people learn by really seeing the results that they generate by themselves.